Hey there, everyone. Let's talk about English. It's everywhere, right? Like literally everywhere. And guess what? It can be your new best friend. Learning English doesn't have to be scary or boring. We're going to have some fun with it. Think of English as a big, friendly puppy. At first, you might be a little unsure. You don't know all the commands yet. But with a little patience and a lot of love, you'll be best buddies in no time. We're going to start with the basics, just like teaching a puppy to sit. Then we'll move on to bigger and better things, like fetching frisbees of knowledge. This is your journey to English fluency. It's going to be exciting, I promise. So, are you ready to make a new friend? Let's do this! Okay, let's start with the easy stuff. Meeting new people can sometimes feel a bit intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. One of the simplest and most effective ways to make a good first impression is by starting with a smile. A genuine smile can convey warmth and friendliness, making the other person feel at ease right away. Imagine you're meeting someone for the first time. You might feel a bit nervous, but that's perfectly normal. The key is to remember that the other person is likely feeling the same way. By offering a smile, you can help break the initial tension and create a more relaxed atmosphere. What do? You smile. It's a simple gesture that can have a big impact. A smile can make you appear more approachable and open, inviting the other person to engage in conversation. Smiling is like the universal language of kindness. No matter where you are in the world, a smile is understood by everyone. It's a way to show that you are friendly and interested in connecting with others. It breaks the ice and makes everyone feel more comfortable. When people see you smiling, they are more likely to respond positively and engage in conversation with you. In English, a simple hello or hi goes a long way. These basic greetings are easy to remember and use, and they can help you start a conversation with anyone. You can also say, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on the time of day. These phrases are polite and show that you are aware of the time and context of your meeting. See? You're already speaking English. These simple phrases are the first steps in building your confidence and communication skills. When you meet someone new, you can say, nice to meet you. This phrase is a polite way to acknowledge the introduction and show that you are pleased to make their acquaintance. It's a polite way to acknowledge the introduction. By saying nice to meet you, you are showing respect and interest in the other person. And if you want to keep the conversation going, you can ask, how are you? This question shows that you are interested in the other person's well-being and opens the door for further conversation. It's a friendly way to show you're interested. Remember, everyone starts somewhere. Even if your English isn't perfect, the effort you put into communicating will be appreciated. These basic phrases are the building blocks of communication. They help you establish a connection and make it easier to engage in more meaningful conversations. Just like learning your ABCs, these simple greetings will lay the foundation for your English skills. With practice and confidence, you'll be able to build on these basics and become a more fluent and effective communicator. All right, you've mastered the basics. You can introduce yourself, ask simple questions, and respond to basic inquiries. But what if you want to take your conversational skills to the next level? What if you want to make your interactions more engaging and memorable? Now let's step it up a notch. It's time to move beyond the basics and add some flair to your conversations. This means being more descriptive, asking open-ended questions, and sharing more about yourself. Imagine you're at a party. You see someone you'd like to talk to. How do you strike up a conversation? The key is to start with something that invites a response. Instead of just saying hello, you can try something like, hi there, I don't think we've met. I'm your name. This not only introduces you, but also opens the door for the other person to introduce themselves. See the difference? It's a little more engaging and gives the other person something to respond to. It shows that you're interested in getting to know them, which can make the conversation more enjoyable for both of you. To keep the conversation flowing, ask open-ended questions. These are questions that can't be answered with a simple yes or no. Instead, they require a more detailed response, which can lead to a more interesting and dynamic conversation. For example, instead of asking, do you like movies? Which can be answered with a simple yes or no, try, what kind of movies do you enjoy? This encourages the other person to elaborate on their interests, which can lead to a deeper and more engaging conversation. Another tip is to share your own thoughts and experiences. This not only gives the other person something to respond to, but also helps to build a connection. For example, if you're talking about movies, you could say, I love sci-fi movies. Have you seen any good ones lately? This not only shares something about yourself, but also invites the other person to share their own experiences. This encourages the other person to elaborate and keeps the conversation going. It also shows that you're interested in what they have to say, which can make the conversation more enjoyable for both of you. Remember, the key to intermediate English is to be more descriptive and engaging. Use details, ask follow-up questions, and don't be afraid to share your own thoughts and experiences. This will not only make your conversations more interesting, but also help you to build stronger connections with the people you talk to. So next time you're in a conversation, remember these tips. Be engaging, be descriptive, and most importantly, be yourself. Happy chatting. Okay, superstar, you're on a roll. You've been working hard on your English, and it's really starting to show. Your confidence is growing, and you're ready to tackle more advanced conversations. Now it's time to take your English to the next level. This means diving into the nuances of the language, understanding the subtleties that make English so rich and expressive. It's not just about knowing the words, but about feeling comfortable using them in different contexts. This is where things get really fun. Imagine being able to join in on jokes, understand cultural references, and express yourself in a way that feels natural and authentic. It's all about making those connections and enjoying the process. We're talking about idioms, slang, and all the cool expressions that make English so colorful. These are the phrases that native speakers use every day, and they can really help you sound more fluent and natural. Instead of saying, "I'm very tired," you can say, "I'm completely knackered." It's a small change, but it makes a big difference in how you come across. These expressions add flavor to your language and make your conversations more engaging. Or instead of saying, "That's a great idea," you can say, "That's brilliant." These little tweaks can make your speech more dynamic and interesting. They show that you're not just learning English, but living it. See how much more expressive that is? It's all about adding that extra layer of meaning and emotion to your words. It makes your conversations more lively and memorable. Idioms can be tricky, but they're also a lot of fun. They often have interesting origins and can tell you a lot about the culture. For example, break the ice means to start a conversation in a social setting. It's a great way to get to know people and make new friends. For example, if someone says, "He's got a chip on his shoulder," they don't mean he's literally carrying a potato chip. It means he's holding a grudge. These expressions can add a lot of color to your conversations and help you connect with others on a deeper level. It means he's holding a grudge. Understanding these idioms can really help you understand the nuances of English and make your conversations more interesting. Don't be afraid to experiment with idioms and slang. It's all part of the learning process. The more you use them, the more natural they'll become. And don't worry if you make mistakes. It's all part of the fun. The more you use them, the more natural they'll become. Practice makes perfect, and soon you'll find yourself using these expressions without even thinking about it. And who knows, you might even invent a few of your own. Language is always evolving, and you can be a part of that evolution. So go out there, have fun, and conquer those conversations. Section 5. From Stumbles to Success. Embracing the journey. Now let's talk about something really important, making mistakes. Listen, everyone makes mistakes, especially when learning a new language. The important thing is to not let them get you down. Think of mistakes as stepping stones. Each stumble brings you closer to fluency. Instead of getting embarrassed, embrace your mistakes as opportunities to learn and grow. Remember that awkward moment when you accidentally called your teacher mom? We've all been there. It's okay to laugh at yourself and learn from the experience. The key is to keep practicing and not give up. Section 6. Context is key finding your English voice. Here's the thing about English. It's not just about memorizing words and grammar rules. It's about understanding the context. The way you speak English might change depending on who you're talking to and where you are. For example, you wouldn't speak the same way to your best friend as you would to your boss, right? It's all about finding the right tone and level of formality. When you're hanging out with friends, you can use slang and be more casual. But in a professional setting, it's important to use more formal language. Pay attention to how others speak in different situations and adjust your language accordingly. Section 7. Beyond Words. The Power of Nonverbal Communication. Guess what? Communication is about more than just words. Your body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice all play a huge role in how your message is received. Think about it. A smile can convey warmth and friendliness, while a frown can signal disapproval. Eye contact shows that you're engaged in the conversation, while crossed arms might suggest that you're closed off. Pay attention to your nonverbal cues and make sure they're aligned with your words. For example, if you're trying to be friendly, make sure you're smiling and making eye contact. It makes a world of difference. Section 8. Practice makes perfect. Speaking your way to fluency. Here's the secret to mastering any language. Practice, practice, practice. The more you speak English, the more comfortable and confident you'll become. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. At first, you might be a little wobbly, but with practice, you'll be cruising down the street in no time. Find opportunities to practice your English every day. Talk to native speakers, join a conversation group, or even just talk to yourself in the mirror. The key is to make it a habit. Section 9. Conclusion. Open the door to a world of English. Congratulations! You've reached the end of our English adventure. But guess what? This is just the beginning. The world of English is vast and exciting, and there's always something new to learn. Remember, learning a language is a journey, not a destination. Embrace the challenges, celebrate your successes, and never stop exploring. Who knows what amazing opportunities await you? So go out there and speak your heart out. The world is listening.